Let's talk about something that you're very passionately interested in, which is football. You led a group that bought a team in the Premier League in England called Manchester City, which just won the Premier League.
It was a great journey. Football is a passion of mine. I enjoy football. So doing that job was an absolute joy. So 10 years ago, we started this journey. Manchester City was a modest club back then in terms of their standing within the Premier League. They had revenues of about $80 million. 10 years on, we've pushed the revenue to almost $550 million. The group is very successful financially, economically, but more importantly, when you're in the business of sports, you have to be successful on the pitch. And over the last 7 years, because it took us 3 years to build the capability and the club to be competitive, over the last 7 years, Manchester City has been the most successful club in the Premier League. We've won the Premier League 3 times in those 7 years.
So do you go into the locker room and give them kind of win one for the Gipper kind of speeches, or how do you inspire the troops?
No, I inspire the troops by making sure we have the right organization in place. I mean, that's what I think I'm good at, getting the right ecosystem for success on the pitch, getting the right players. That's really what wins in sports. It's that complete package.
When they're practicing, do you ever go down on the field and say, let me kick a couple balls with you?
No, I don't do that.
You don't do that?
I don't do that. In order not to embarrass myself.
Okay. What other teams do you have around the world?
So we started with Manchester, and then we came up with this idea of football is a global sport, and it's a sport that's growing everywhere. How about we create a brand? Our scouting system, our management systems, and use these synergies to be successful in multiple jurisdictions. Never been done before. It was a thesis. We didn't know if it was going to work or not. But over the last 6 to 8 years, we've built a group called the City Football Group that owns controlling stakes or management stakes in clubs all around the world. And we're seeing the benefits of that by essentially having a much better proposition for sponsors who want access to not just one market but a global market, and want to have that local presence through the football network that we have in these clubs. We're looking now at India. We're looking at China, which is kind of a reflection of everything else I'm doing. If you look at our portfolio in Mubadala, it follows a very similar path. As a global platform, our presence is in all these markets, and that's how we've grown over the last 15, 16 years.